Omnic. Let mankind share and enjoy blue sky and white clouds. A right inverter is an important factor of return of investment of a PV plant project. In general, inverter can be divided into central string and microinverter. Central inverter from 100 kilowatts to 1 megawatt with 1 or 2 MPPT, and transformer is necessary. String inverter 1 to 50 kilowatts transformerless with 1, 2, or 3 MPPT. Microinverter can be directly integrated with solar panel. Now to select inverter and maximize investment return. We will guide you from the very beginning of power plant design to the later power plant operation. System total cost analysis. If you select central inverter, you will also need to configure transformer, cooling equipment, ventilation equipment, and protection equipment, distribution box, inverter shelter, with string inverter and microinverter. There is no need to use additional equipment. Therefore, though the cost of central inverter is cheaper, you need to pay more additional cost than string inverter. Flexibility in the system design. Central inverter, complex design, inflexibility. To ensure that each string of solar panels are working at the maximum power point. The number of panels, tilt angle, panel type, and size of each string must be exactly the same. With string inverter, simple design. Different numbers of solar panels with different brands and different types can be connected to different MPPT. With microinverter, no special design is needed. You can choose solar panel freely, and two can be directly connected. Easy transportation and installation. One 500 kilowatt central inverter with transformer is over 4 tones. A sufficient shelter is needed in advance. For decentralized applications, all cables need to be combined at the rooftop, then connected with inverter and transit to consumer side. AC current could up to several hundred amperes. Wiring is complex and dangerous. Transportation cost is high, as well as the DC wiring cost and line loss. Omnic 20 kilowatt inverter only weighs 45 kilograms. Even single worker can handle it. The AC current can access the consumer side in multi-point, which minimizes transportation and installation cost. Microinverter needs no installation. It integrates with the solar panel, direct plug and play, minimum transportation and installation cost. Different operation efficiency. The max efficiency of 500 kilowatts central inverter can reach 98.8%, but when shadow occurs on even one panel of one string, voltage and current of all strings, which connect to the same MPPT, will decrease rapidly and loses approximately 25% of the total power output. If you use string inverter in 500 kilowatt project, each inverter has 2 or 3 MPPT. That gives 100 to 150 MPPT in total. Influences of shadow or other circumstances will only affect between 2 strings. Other strings will still work at max power point. If you use microinverter, there will be 2000 MPPT for a 500 kilowatt project. Each panel will work at its own maximum efficiency. Shadows, different brands, tilt angles, and other aspects will not influence other panels. The conclusion of total power output with all parameters included. Central inverter generates relatively less electricity. String inverter generates more. Microinverter generates the most. Risk in operating phase. Monitoring working status of the solar panels. Central inverter cannot achieve real-time monitoring. It can only cross-examine the power generation data of plants in the neighborhood to determine the working status of panels. Each string inverter can detect malfunction, so it narrows the scope of defected panels down to dozens. Microinverters can even monitor each panel. The reliability of the total power plant. If you use 500 kilowatt central inverter, even one malfunction in the inverter may lead to panels of 5,000 square meters stop working. And if the plant is in remote area, it might take months before the plant starts to generate electricity again. With 20 kilowatt inverters, the same kind of risk will reduce to minimum. If one defects, it will not influence the others, and it can be simply replaced with on-site backup inverters manually. With microinverter, just simply replace the defected piece. Its designed 25 years life cycle makes the system more stable and reliable. Danger of high voltage in case of firefighting. The DC voltage of 500 kilowatt central inverter can be up to 1,000 volts. If fire occurs, due to light protection, firefighter can't proceed standard firefighting protocol, which might cause severe property damage. But with string inverter, the DC voltage is much lower, mostly under 40 volts. After cutting off the AC connection, firefighters can operate normally. So after comprehensive comparison of the invest and operation cost, string inverter is compromised of central and microinverter with the best cost-effective ratio. The best solution for a decentralized PV project is to combine string inverter with microinverter. It saves the total cost and increases the return of investment. For projects from tens of kilowatts to tens of megawatts, string inverter system generates 10% to 20% more power. For large ground project, use string inverter will give the whole system 5 to 10% more power generation. With the trend of decreasing per watt peak price, small three-phase string inverter will be mainstream for decentralized and ground projects. Omnic, professional inverter manufacturer.